This video is made for adult collectors because he's complete. Yay, another combiner. And then we got to do this all again, probably next year. Can I just say, I know my usual aversion to clear plastic and stuff. I don't really like it that much, and I'm happy that nowadays they're putting plastic inserts in place of hinges on clear parts, which, you know, increases their longevity. But I kind of like this. This doesn't do that because it's entirely clear, and it should be scary and should just disintegrate in my hands. I've transformed this so many times and it's fine. I actually really like this figure a lot. I think Tron Optimus looks very cool. But we're not here to talk about him, we're here to talk about him. We did it. We completed Bruticus. All 6 members are here. Yes, 6, because technically SS86 Shockwave combines with this. As per usual with combiners, let's strip him down for parts and just get him into the individual robots. Then remove the odd one out. Be gone. I love this set. Coming off the aerial bots and the Constructicons all being uniform in their decos, this is so nice having 5 robots that look and feel extremely different. The Stunticons were like that too. I don't have them anymore. Also, getting them all on this table was a little bit of a chore, but hey, here they are. It was a fun chore. These 5 though technically started releasing last year with Vortex, and as of July 2026, he's complete. In Canada anyways, and some parts of Asia who also have Swindle, so they're finished too. Hopefully he starts trickling out over on the rest of the world like any time now. But I'm pretty sure every figure but Blastoff on my Bruticus came out here before their official street date, which is weird, but I'll take it. Here are all 5. I've done videos on each one and I'll link a playlist below, but let's just quickly run through them all. Vortex came out first and he's a lot of fun to mess with. I did the if meme, good lord. Vortex came out first and is a lot of fun if a wee bit of a mess. His arm kibble is like the only thing that seems to bug most people because it doesn't really lock in, so it flops around a lot. The rest of it though is great. This will be a trend with all the Combaticons minus Swindle because he's a goober, but they look intimidating and Vortex looks very intimidating. The propeller can also come off and you can use it as like a weapon / shield for extra posing power, which is awesome. The transformation is kind of standard with the arm guys and how the legs combiner wars themselves in and the arms just fold up to eat the head. And the chopper mode looks great aside from the back where his head is just hanging out there. Hello. The guns just kind of hang off the side ungracefully. Like I wish they integrated a bit better, but otherwise it's a pretty nice deluxe chopper. Blastoff is next up, and yeah, I still haven't glued his head back together. I'll fix that eventually. He is a very dark brown, but he looks the part. His hands are a bit weird and the grip on his guns is like a little loose. Plus his proportions feel a tad bottom heavy because of his square legs, but he feels fine, a bit better than Vortex in plastic quality because everything stays where it's supposed to. Transformation is very similar to Vortex where the limbs end up in similar spots and, you know, the legs combiner wars together. You just got to make sure that nose cone is positioned exactly right, otherwise the cockpit will not tab in. Nice brown shuttle though. There is landing gear. I missed that the last time because it was so tight on my copy. Somebody pointed it out to me in the comments. Again, he feels out of place in a military focused team, but it's still a nice little deluxe spaceship. It's a lot better than the leader spaceship we just got. Then we were graced with our first Voyager on a frame combiner. Brawl. This introduced the concept of putting the alt modes on the front of the legs as opposed to on the back, and honestly, this is way better of a solution, but more on that later. I'm moving a little bit too fast. Slow down. He's a nice military green color, but under this light, you can kind of see the difference between the like nylon and the ABS. He really does look like the brute of the group, even if he is shorter than Onslaught, but Brawl is probably my favorite of the whole team. Not figure-wise, but like as a character. It probably doesn't help that he was in the first movie, so Brawl is cemented in my mind more than the rest of them are. I love how he does the guns on the back that can rotate over like the turret and over his shoulders. That's so cool. His plastic feels way better than the deluxes because he's a shorter Voyager, so they can put more money into the plastics. I'll touch on the ankle tilt once we get to combine mode, but there was an issue there that, you know, that has a fix. His transformation is way more involved than you'd think because he goes from a rectangular robot to a rectangular alt mode, but the process for this is just like so interesting. He stretches the treads and the arms the way that they fold around, and it's a sick ass tank. I mean, it's just a tank, but they nailed it. The turret rotates and goes up and down, and he does have the 2 cannons mounted on the back that can move as well, but it is just a brick, but a nice brick. I love it. Then the gap of time between releases just kind of felt bigger between Brawl and Onslaught, the next release, but we got Commander 1 of the year, and yeah, to me this is the best of the 3 torso commanders. The plastic feels a bit nicer than Silverbolt and a lot nicer than Motormaster, who isn't here. I got the G2 one on pre-order, okay? But he doesn't come with any weapons. And these wheels don't fold around. Those are like my only 2 issues. But again, having a chat with Evan, even though he didn't work on this set, he suggested it was maybe a parts count and a deco budget thing, and I can kind of see that. But I just give him Swindle's trailer gun and now I'm okay with it. Onslaught's trailer becomes like a little battle platform of sorts that he can interact with other figures with, and I really like that. And the transformation is relatively easy. You'd think being a commander he'd be a bit complex like Motormaster, but no, he's very simple to convert. Trailer 2. The truck mode is long. Like, it's enormous. It can carry figures one at a time, but that is still a cool feature to have. I wish the trailer locked in rather than resting in place, but it's not like it's gonna go anywhere. Well, I mean, it will if you push it because it has wheels. But as a commander for Combiner Torsos Go, I love this one the most. And then we get to the final member who released just last week over here, Swindle. His video literally just came out, so I won't spend too much time on this, but he looks neat if a bit stumpy, and his yellow is very bright next to the rest, and he sticks out and looks a little less intimidating compared to his friends, but he's still a pretty nice figure. The transformation is way more involved than I thought it was going to be, but it is very fun, especially with how the legs work with all those panels. You'd think it'd be annoying, but it's just not. And that's a Jeep, a nice looking Jeep. Okay, question. This is unrelated to Transformers, but why do I keep seeing Jeeps with rubber ducks on the dashboard? I see that a lot, and I don't quite understand what the trend is. Why do people do that? The combiner gun becomes a trailer, which is pretty cool, and that's all of them. Now let's just stop stalling and turn this thing into Bruticus. It's time to get this guy into Bruticus, and the easiest way to do that is to start in the alt modes like all the other frame combiners. The arms are easy, you just sort of like, we'll take their weapons off, but that's blast off ready to go. Like that's it. Vortex is, you can fold the propeller up, but I like leaving it out because it kind of reminds me of Fall of Cybertron Bruticus a little bit, but he's ready. That's it. They're easy to go. They split themselves. The legs, that will get him out of the way. The legs, though, these are very involved. So with Brawl here, you take these bits off. We can leave this on, and I'm going to leave it on. You take those off. Then you want to extend the turret, and you want to open these front tread sections up like you're about to go back into robot mode, and you want to pull the arms out. Then you want to take the treads, swing them down, and then fold this torso piece down like that. Then you rotate the arms 180 degrees without unpegging the chest, fold this in, and this will just tab in to a slot right in there. It's basically this little cutout in the tread here goes into the shoulder tab for tank mode. So once you get that done, you want to rotate the arms 180 degrees and just leave them there. You're going to take the turret and you want to shift it up all the way. Then you take the front feet sections here, bring them down, and then you want to bend at the robot mode knee till it clicks into place. Then we're going to split the leg just so we have room to accordion these in and bring them up. Close this up together like that. Then you want to bring this section around. You want to flip these pieces out, fold this up, and then this will all peg together. Then we're going to bend the arms down and then just bring them out like that so that we can wrap them around the leg. But that's Brawl in foot mode. Swindle in foot mode, you don't need the trailer. Fold up the trailer hitch and take off the guns. We're going to flip this up. You want to take the arms. Now this is where I mentioned in Swindle's video that stuff clips in the instructions. I do actually have the instructions right here so I can show you. But you want to split the arms and bring the head down. Then you want to bring the arms out like this. You want to bend it on the first hinge, but leave it 90 degrees on the second hinge. So again, bring it out, leave it 90 on the second hinge, rotate this around like you're going back into robot mode, fold these to the back. Now with the arms here, you want to keep these pieces like this, the grill bits. The instructions tell you to fold them in and then clip it over the leg, but they don't actually fit. And if you look right here, if I can get the instructions open, it tells you right there to fold them in like that. They don't fit like that. I've tried so hard, and even looking at the official reveal images of this guy at the, San Diego Comic-Con and stuff, they are not like that. So this is just them clipping and the instructions get it wrong. Yay. There they go. Then you want to take these bits, fold them out. You want to unpeg the legs and rotate these around like you're going into robot mode. Fold the seats down. Now this is where it becomes interesting. So you fold this section up, right? And then you bring this piece out, fold this out, and it will clip into place. And this forms the foot. But that's not quite it. You want to then fold this down and then fold this up 90 degrees. Now you have the foot done. Kind of just shrinks itself. And then what I like to do here is I like to take this gun and just sort of peg it in. This is supposed to stay on this side. The gun then goes into here and stays on that side. And now we have all the limbs ready to go. And now it's onslaught time, so we'll do the frame in a second. This piece here, you're basically just like fuddling him back into robot mode of sorts. So you open this section up, fold down the legs. Don't close this up. Well, we're gonna fold these in, but don't close this up. You wanna take the arms and you wanna bring them out like that. You wanna open them up, but then we're going to rotate them around like this so these pegs are facing inward because they're gonna clip into the backpack. Then you wanna take the cannons and fold them up, open this back section, fold the robot head in, bring out the combined head, fold this piece out. Oy, it does clip in, so, you know, get that out. You want to bring this section down, then fold this up. This will peg into the torso, and this will peg around like that. Then you want to take the legs here, and they have this secondary hinge. So you accordion this up like that, and then you close this section up, bring this up, and it's going to tab into the shoulder, and that's your torso sort of ready to go. The rest of the torso is here. So we're gonna start by deconstructing it. So you pull the feet out, and you take the arms, you slide them out like that. Then we're going to bring the feet back because you want to fold the heels out first, because the combined mode does have really nice heels. Superion didn't. They do now. They fixed that issue. So you bring these out and then you fold this flat. Those are his feet. So now we're going to take the torso, ratchet it forward, bend these pieces down, and bring down the hip skirts. Split this. Let's bring it out like one ratchet click so that they have clearance to rotate around. Take this top piece, rotate it 180 degrees. Open the cannons, fold this out, and bring out the chest plate. Now we're ready to combine it all. So we'll get the torso plugged in first. So you take him and you just snap him into place there. Then you're gonna close the chest section up. Then you're gonna bring the backpack around, and it's going to go over these side view mirrors right here. And you wanna be careful. You wanna make sure they actually go into these little gaps here, because if you don't, you might break them. So just be careful. But once you get that over, you peg these into place, and then you bring this section down. It will tab into the other guns up here, and then this butt flap will come back and clip into place there. And that's, you know, he's getting there. Where did Brawl go? Oh, here he is. So now with the legs, you want to take these and just shove Brawl into here. He's going to peg in many different places. Then get the arms just going around the back leg. Then you can take these parts and you can store them back here. That's where those go. And then we're gonna unlock the ankle tilt so he's sitting flat. Swindles, same thing, you bring him in. He's going to peg into several different places. Just get that nice and squeezed. And then you wanna peg the arms into the back here. Now, the gun, I do wanna talk about this real quick. I just realized I plugged the wrong gun into there. That goes there, get the ankle tilt. So this gun, it's supposed to, the instructions tell you to store it right here. The instructions, where'd they go? Oh yeah, I threw them. The instructions also don't mention at all that you're supposed to plug this gun into the front of the cannon. And a lot of people tell me to do that, like I was doing it wrong and that I have to do that, but they don't mention it in here at all. So it's not part of the instructions, but you can take this, you open this section up and fold this around, and this closes up back here, and fold that out. You can take this gun, and it does fit into the front of the barrel here. It sits ever so slightly at an angle, and it feels like I'm stretching something, but there are also stoppers in there. So it feels weird how this works. So for now, I'm going to actually leave this like that, but you're supposed to technically store it on the side. And then we get to the part that doesn't really work, the arms. So the whole gimmick of these is plug the thing on and it splits them in half, right? So if we fold this out and rotate the fist, what side is this? This is blast off. So you take blast off and you plug him in to here, and then it's supposed to just separate the entire thing, but it always doesn't. I struggle to get these ones to work. It doesn't want to work. It straight up doesn't want to work. So what I do is I will pull this out by itself. It's this one right here. This one it locks in so securely that it makes this gimmick not work very well. But once you collapse all that down, I'm just gonna take G1 Megatron's sword and press the button to split it. And then that goes there, that goes there. And then you take this and you plug it into there. And that's an arm. The other arm, same story. It doesn't like to split apart. Also doesn't help that this piece is right here blocking that. But we'll just take Megatron's sword here, press it in there, and just get that separated. Plug that in there and plug that in there and slot that in. and we'll just give him his gun. I'll put him on later, but there's Bruticus. That was tiring to do with a camera in my face. So me being me, I'm a bit stupid. And this right here, you'll notice in a lot of shots in this video, it's folded up like this. And I saw some people go, oh, I wish Swindle was like thicker at the leg. Yeah, because you're supposed to leave it like this. You're supposed to do that. That's how it's supposed to go. And I have been doing it the other way. To be fair, I do like the way this looks a little bit more, but you're supposed to do this. That's how all the images do it. Where's the instructions going? Yeah, no, even in the instructions, that's how you're supposed to do it. And I've just been doing it the other way. Yay. So for a majority of the video, it's gonna be this way. Oops. We'll put Shockwave on later, but yeah, that hits the spot. This is such a nice looking combiner. Doing the legs this way really helps not only differentiate him from the other frames, but make him look a lot bulkier and beefier. I'm hoping this becomes more of a trend going forward on the frame, guys, but we shall see. I'll get to the ankle tilt first, actually, visually, because it seems to be the biggest thing that's a hang up for a lot of people. They are really high up on the legs, more like shin tilts over ankle tilts. It's due to how these become all built-in legs, essentially, at Voyager budgets. The only thing that isn't all built-in is the platform at the bottom of the feet. Everything else is just the robot, though. It is a bit high up and it does look a wee bit strange. It doesn't bother me too much, but I know that some people do find it weird, and at some angles it can be a bit off-putting. I also remember when they showed off Bruticus for the first time, some people thought he looked stubby, and I can see why, but in person he's pretty proportionate. I mean, he's about the same as the other frame combiners. It's the robots on the front of the legs that make the proportions feel a tiny bit different because of how squat and fat they are. I really like how they colored the chest plate. It's got that deep, rich purple and this sort of matte blue finish on the wings on the chest, as well as a slightly darker color section towards the center. There's actually separate parts for the color too. The gray trim down the bottom is a separate pinned in piece, which means less deco to scratch. I love the silver down the midriff and the crotch section. The double guns are a choice. I don't mind them, but I know some people don't like them. They are permanently there though. They don't go away because there just isn't space in the backpack to fold them up. That's why they stay sticking out. You can technically plug Swindle's longer rifle into the barrel of the bigger gun, but like I said before, it doesn't really feel like it's supposed to go in there. So instead I just leave it stored on the side of Swindle and they just leave the gun as it is. Head sculpt is perfect. I have no notes. It looks fantastic with that silver mouth paint and those beady red eyes. I like the green arms. Again, I know some don't, but it adds some color to the mix to me, but it still like matches that military vibe, so I think it's cool. I also dig how next to Devastator and Superion, how different he feels, because all the robots on the limbs are so vastly different from each other that he has this really nice asymmetry to it. Devastator also has that, but the colors are uniform, right? So everything looks like it still matches. Bruticus's aren't, and to me that makes him look a lot more like he's made of a bunch of different guys. And then you can also throw Shockwave into the mix. Getting him in gun mode, you also then fold the handle at the back, and there are actually like tabs that clip into this like trigger section. I'm not sure if that was on the original, but they're there now. And then he just slips right over Blastoff's shoulder and tabs in two places. Why does he do this? Well, Bruticus, I believe, uses Shockwave as a gun in one episode, but you can't really do that with the 86 figure because he's so big. So their solution was just to mount him on the shoulder, and that's how I'm going to be displaying it because that's sick as hell. Extra integration is always a win. He is big and sturdy and built quite well, save for the shoulders. They like to untab every once in a while when you pull the shoulders forward and then try to move them out. I really hope Hasbro does a Fall of Cybertron Bruticus someday. I have the third-party one on pre-order. Sorry, TF Safari. It's sold out on your website before I could snag one, so I had to go show Z. Sorry. His articulation is no slouch. The head is on a ball joint, but you don't get a lot of up and down or tilt, just rotation. I do wish it could like move around a little bit more. The shoulders are ratcheted. They can go all the way around, plus in and out. He has bicep swivels, single jointed ratcheted elbows, wrist rotation. Shockwave does hinder Blastoff's shoulders a bit if you have him clipped on. Waist rotation, hip skirts can move to allow for the hips to go forward. They can go back a little bit and then they can go in and out, all ratcheted. Thigh rotation, 90-degree ratcheted bend at the knee, and then the shin pivot that is friction, but it's double layered, so it feels like it's not gonna give out at any point. Talking about the ankle tilt real quick, Brawl has an issue where they over tighten the joint and it can stress. There's no ratchet in the ankles, and each ankle guy has a waist joint. It doesn't need to be a ratchet because they have a second layer of piece attaching to it to keep it stable. But because they wanted to ensure the combined mode was stable, they went a little too tight on Brawl's ankle joint. All you have to do is take the screw off the middle, take the whole piece off, sand the tube, and put it together, and you're good, but it is a little annoying. But yeah, he's my favorite of the combiners so far. Even Leo Kaiser, who I like a lot. I am looking forward to having Minosaur again to complete the set, even if the one I'm getting is blue. They package refreshed Vortex in the upcoming wave. Well, I say upcoming wave, but that wave's come out here. So if you want to complete this guy, you can probably find all the figures at the same time to build him out, which I really like. And I love the build quality, the engineering, the asymmetry, the deco. Though Swindle could be a touch darker, the articulation is pretty on point. It's just a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing whatever their next combiner is. I know it's probably Defensor or Predaking, but please do a Computron soon. I'd love that. But if you like combiners, I think this is a definite pickup, this whole set. I like it. But that's my look at, I almost said Combiner Wars, at Age of the Prime's Bruticus. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.